is going to be home to a new team.
Welcome back to the LCS, everyone. I am here for the Verizon post-game interview, joined by TSM mid laner in Takeover. All right, Takeover, what a game it was, taking down the #1 team within the league right now. Tell me about your experience in the LCS and achieving such a feat right here today.
Yeah, I mean, feels great to win like such a high tier team, I guess. And yeah, it's been a good experience.
Tell me a bit about the strategy that TSM brought to the table. Some comfort picks for the top lane and jungle. You on this pick that can also have that side lane pressure. How do you feel that that worked out for you all?
I don't really want to say too much in case I leak something, but I'll say we just played what we're good at and it worked out this game.
It's a workout with a nice W for the TSM side. Now, I know things have obviously been a bit rough for TSM in recent times, a lot of difficulty in matching expectations for the squad with performance. How have you been handling that as one of the moving pieces as well to come into the roster with all the shakeups lately?
Yeah, it's for sure not been the ideal situation, but honestly, for me specifically, nothing drastic changed for me. So for the most part, it was sort of the same. I didn't get affected too much compared to other people maybe.
Just showing out on the stage in a very different way, but always playing mid lane all the same, right, Takeover?
Yep, exactly.
All right, well, thank you for the interview. Congratulations on the TSM victory today, and we'll catch you later.
Yep, thank you.
What a game for us to break down, folks. So let's go ahead and get right to that on the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you so much, LeTigress. I'm just going to cop to it. We didn't expect to be having this segment here with the TSM victory over Cloud9. Those were the chants that Kobe was hearing in his head in the middle of the game. Let's talk draft. Because it was, in fact, again, Kobe as well, who said, when you look at this, it just kind of looks like TSM came in with pick what you want for each of these players, pick what you're comfortable with.
Well, I mean, Takeover just said we play what we're good at, right? There are a few things in this draft that we see that we had kind of already talked about. Takeover is on Rise, which again, alongside something similar to the Silas with Ahri, allows him to roam around and hopefully affect other lanes or join up for skirmishes. And then additionally, we see the Huni Rumble in the top lane.
It does have some small synergies. I do know okay, your damage spread, maybe not the best, whatever, but Rumble set was a combo that people used to run, right? When set came out and was really busted. Rise can move up to the top lane, and the Rumble does win the Gnar matchup, so you can make plays around that. There were small things that worked for their draft, and what we said was, if TSM are going to win the game, it's probably going to be scrappy. It's probably going to be them making some early good plays, and that's kind of how it played out.
Yeah, and that's the identity that TSM has been pushing for in the past few weeks, have been scrappy across the board. Everyone can pick their own fights if they want to, and in this case, it's a lot more a setup with the set Rumble ulti that you were talking about. They outrange if you're talking about Kai'Sa versus Zeri, and Zeri, I thought Tactical had an incredible game. And in this one, I mean, they just collapsed for fights consistently. And they were trading back and forth. And so for the most part, I thought, okay, Cloud9 will be able to clean it up. They'll have that one big Drake fight, and they'll be able to take over. That didn't happen. It felt like the control that TSM had, they kept. I'm just specifically talking about vision control, but also just control of the game, sure.
I think Spica, you already called it out, had a pretty good game this time. I thought he looked really good. Even though things didn't go well initially for Huni, and there were some times where he fell behind, the Rumble actually did end up working out. Shenyi had some great flank opportunities, like you see there. He played the set pretty well. And it was just a game where it felt like the front-to-back team fighting that their comp probably wanted, and then this big all-in engage from Cloud9. Because they were always on the back foot, they could never really set that up.
This is actually where I thought we were going to have a repeat of the last time these two teams met, where TSM is in a winning position and Blabber comes in and steals that. But I think the important thing that happens after here is obviously TSM end up winning the fight, and C9 are actually able to get very little off of this Baron. They end up getting, I believe, one tier 2 topside with Summit, and that's actually it.
And this was the example I was talking about, the control wars that they placed, they sat on and waited for C9 to basically step up and fail, right? So this is something that they are just objectively gotten better at. Also, Shenyi, you kind of talked about him. Shenyi and Spica were just on the same page, getting vision at the right times. There was a timer where Huni got ganked and died, but then here comes the Shenyi and Spica getting vision for him and all that stuff. Though it feels like they're just getting better and better, and it sucks that it's happening in week 7.
Better than ever.
Exactly. Now they got that dub.
I mean, I have to imagine that's a huge boon or boost, rather, to the morale for the entire team. And again, it's like Mark said, we got everything we wanted, right? It was comfort picks across the board for TSM. They made it scrappy like we would expected. They needed it to be in order to take down Cloud9. And while they get the dub, Grubhub is making sure you don't have any excuse to miss LCS action all weekend long with Grubhub convenience. Get your favorite game day snacks and drinks delivered to your door and get $10 off your convenience orders of $20 or more with code LCS Goods. But of course, in this game here, it was Tactical who came up to deliver the win for TSM.
Yeah, and this was a scrappy fight, and for a little bit, I was wondering who would be able to end up stepping forward and taking it. Tactical ends up using ulti here, and I love the confidence with Tactical.
Get in there!
Flashing forward to clean up, and it got a little close, but he gave confidence to the team around him to follow up. So just a really great show of force there from the man.
And it was really important that he targeted Berserker here too, because we've talked about, the strength of Kai'Sa in these fights, but also the strength of Berserker.
Tactical picks up, or rather delivers the dub for the team. It was Spica who gets player of the game. So maybe a little work in tandem together. But this is something that I think is a welcome image. A very welcome image for a lot of TSM fans, considering that this is a former LCS MVP.
He needed this because everyone was beginning to doubt him. They're like gaslighting themselves. Like, dude, was he actually good?
Was he ever good?
No, he was never good. Like, where'd this come from? And then it's like, no, when he's playing confidently with good teammates and everyone's like working on the same page, he can pop off.
Yes, exactly. And it's just insane to see that kind of level of play that he has there on his Lee Sin. The kill participation that you see on the screen right there, he's been a part of every kill. And the fact that I was talking about, hey, it wasn't a clean game for them. Of course, right? Yeah. Like, Rumble fell behind, but Spica came in and was able to, like, put him back on even footing. And then the same thing happened bot lane. Summit saw that Lee Sin kick time and time again off cooldown.
Got the boot.
Yep.
Well, it's a massive victory for TSM over our top team in Cloud9. They also make that race for the top spot very interesting because now it's tied again with Team Liquid. But we're going to turn our attention to the next matchup, and this one stands between Evil Geniuses and Dignitas QNTMPAY. Now, it's a battle marked by very different support styles here as we take a look at the 5 players who will be stepping on the stage for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, fun fact. Duo procs in the LCS is about 50.8%. Vulcan has a 43.7%, and that's often from this patented EG play where they rotate to contest Herald, and whether or not they take it or not, they stick Danny in the bot lane and keep him there, whereas Dignitas we want to play through our pushing 2v2 and then rotate them around the map later.
All right, so we'll do the exact same thing for the Dignitas lineup. Take a look and refresh our memories as to who will take the stage for them. A squad of 5, and I do think that bot lane conversation is very interesting, Mark.
Yeah, their bot lane has always been really good about pushing, getting advantages. Emily was talking about how Vulcan roams more than the average. I don't know, Emily, is Bio in lane even more than the average?
I need to get those stats. I need to look them up.
Well, I know for certain that Biofrost is in bot lane all the time with Caitlyn and Lux just always pew-pewing away there.
Yeah. It's hilarious sometimes in draft that you can see. They just early pick the J4.
If it's up,
they'll just get straight up, go for it. They do not care about Thresh. They do not care about better jungle or 2v2 matchups. They will just pick it, and they're doing really well off of it. I know really early on in the split, Mark, you're just talking about how he's like, yeah, I don't care if Poppy is picked. If the counter matchup is picked, River will just play around it, and he's just too damn good at the J4. And on top of that, Biofrost and Neo are just stomping lanes again and again, and it's just really impressive to see.
And this next 4 or 5 games are really difficult. You're playing 4 of the top teams already. I mean, there is the one exception with FlyQuest, debating with them and EG who is actually the top 4, but you do have the top 3 and then EG as well. So this is a very tough string of games for Dignitas.
And by contrast, EG are going through the same thing that we kind of talked about with Immortals at the top of the day. They actually, I believe, have the exact same schedule. And they're, don't be surprised if maybe you see them go up in estimation like we saw previously after Super Week.
All right, well, it's a 7-6 Dignitas versus a 6-7 Evil Geniuses. So huge standings implications as these two teams load into Champions Select. Flowers and Kobe, we're back over to you.
Thank you very much, Dash. And you know what? After seeing 11-2 versus 2-11 be what it was, I think 6-7 versus 7-6 might be a banger as well.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to any numbers anymore.
Numbers are for nerds. We don't need those. We've got letters.
Signs are good.
Letters
Pictures
are cool.
Pictures are even better than letters.
Exactly. Books with more pictures are better, and signs are like this. Anyway.
Well, nothing could get crazier than last place defeating first place, so let's get right into it, right in the middle. Dignitas versus Evil Geniuses here. This is huge for playoffs. Get in there. What are you doing? Bounce with him.
Oh. All right, I don't know if it actually got me or not. Whatever. We're back into the draft. Let's pay attention to what we're doing here because we got some AP bans from Dignitas' side. Rise and Diana banned away. Over on the other side, Evil Geniuses taking Caitlyn and Karma off the board.
All right, let's see. So we are whittling a little bit down on this mid lane champion pool. I know that Ahri has gotten so much preference, but I don't know if it's really as deserved as much as it's been highlighted. It is very, you know, flexible champion, does have possibility of getting these picks. Definitely was hugely benefited by the changes, getting the extra ult charge on kill, but hasn't had like a crazy amount of success thus far. So we'll see if that priority does remain. The Rise is banned out on the other side, so it would have to be a one-way trade here. Yep. Let's look at it though. Bottom side, are they going to invest in some of the old champions or go to the new ones? Because we are on the B patch update. So Velios was taken down. Jinx was nerfed as well, taken down. But things like Draven got small buffs. So I'm hoping, and Samira as well. So I'm hoping for some more exciting AD carries.
Well, this is the hotness right here. Hecarim actually made it past ban. This does not happen. Everybody else sends him out into the field to graze on grass or whatever horses do. This time around, he gets through the ban phase, and Dignitas is swift to lock him in as their first pick. Response from Evil Geniuses. They'll grab Viego, most likely for the jungle, and Nautilus on support.
I do feel like it's so calculated from Evil Geniuses because of what River does for Dignitas. You know, facilitates really early on and doesn't really rack up big farm numbers. So we'll see how he does, adapting a little bit. Very different from playing Jarvan or Lee Sin, so let's see about it. And they do go to the Jinx, so this is after the little nerfs, the little baby nerfs to some mana on Q and the early range on Q. So it definitely did weaken her lane phase a little bit. But slap a Tahm Kench on there, and she'll be right as rain. Definitely a good match into the Nautilus, as well as giving her that safety for later.
Yep, these immobile hyper carries love having protection in the support role. A Thresh, a Tahm Kench, something like that is guaranteed to help you stay alive a little bit. So bot lane and jungle picked up for Dignitas early on. The same thing going to be done here for Evil Geniuses. We got to see tactical pop-off on the Zeri last game. This time around, it's Danny's turn.
All right, let's see. They definitely have multiple pop-off champions too, with Inspired Viego. To me, the play that I remember most when he was announced as MVP from LEC coming over was his Pentakill on Viego. So looking for that here because Evil Geniuses have been a really up and down team, as evidenced by sitting here in the middle of the standings. See if they can iron out the consistency issues for this time around. So in that effort, they are going to ban away some of the generic mid laners here because I'm assuming that they are going to make Jojo blind pick first and then save counter pick for top lane for impact. So they just double ban on blue, the safer long range scaling AP champions that he has really preferred. I still have personally liked him most on the Zoe, and that is definitely still up. So not a super high priority champion, but to me, definitely a blue champion, a very successful champion for him. Meanwhile, they're throwing most of their bans towards top side, banning out the Malphite here because they are pretty heavily indexed onto AD.
Akali as well, so that one could go either top or mid, so getting a little bit of value either way there. Victor and Corki, pretty much the entirety of mid lane meta back during lock-in. Things have, of course, shifted since those days, but we're not going to get to see either one here. Now, EG, which one of these solo lanes gets blind picked, and who gets final counter pick of the entire draft? That's the question that we get to answer here. 4 seconds left to go. You're not actually going to lock that in. Come on, give me the real thing. What's it going to be? Tryndamere locked in for Impact.
Impact throwing down the Tryndamere dare on top side of the map. Kalista, Samira, Draven, those are the ones I want to see coming back in. Come on, they're getting small buffs here, there. Please, somebody do it. Somebody crush with some of these aggressive AD carries. Want to see it at some point. Well, not going to be this game, but
yeah, not this
eventually.
One. Already got Jinx Zeri here in this one, so Dignitas, what'll it be? We got Gragas locked in, okay?
Yeah, not a super exciting one. This is the classic disengage on Tryndamere because you can body slam him. The casket is good for disengaging later on into the game too. It's a nullification pick for top lane, so that is not spicy. That is not a top lane Kalista. It is not a top lane Samira type of action. It is a much more standard into Tryndamere. Meanwhile, there's our Ahri that we were talking about earlier. Finally still does get picked up and will be the blind here. Now, Jojo. This kid loves to counterpick and loves to counterpick hard. I want to see it. What's it going to be? Because whenever he has counterpick, he tries to play so aggressively. He'll take really early game oriented runes, try and go for trades very early and often. And when you do have a Viego as your jungler also here for LeBlanc, you can definitely score kills on Ahri pre-6. So we'll see how aggressive he can get off to a start here. Probably call Inspired mid. Hecarim has a possibility of answering because you can go E pretty early on if you want to as level 3 for Hecarim, but most of them tend towards hard farming and double points Q.
I'm excited to see it, man. Evil Genius and Dignitas right next to each other in the standings. This one ought to be a ton of fun.
Welcome back to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. This week's assist hits quick with a kick from Inspired that rattles Team LeTigress to the core.
Now they just have to retreat.
Gonna try a nice kick though on the whole squad, and it's gonna be a frontline attempt, but they're putting a bunch of damage. Baron's on the board.
Inspired finding the huge kick there on Summon. Yes, he had flash shift, but it actually bought them enough time to close the gap.
Welcome back, my friends. It's just about time for Dignitas and Evil Geniuses. I know. The reason you're seeing us instead of the game is because I was told Blue had to get up and leave the stage for a moment. Hopefully he'll be right back, and then we can get into it. But right now we are in a bit of a pause.
Yep. Hard to start the game when one of the seats is empty. If you run quick, you could probably get down there. I don't know if you could pass for Blue.
Dude, you want me to play mid? I'm a Skarner player. What?
You know Ahri a lot like Skarner.
Yeah, totally.
No problem. Very similar.
All the skills translate over directly, and there's totally a Spire in mid lane to play around.
Scorpion, Fox, they're pretty close.
Both are animals.
Now I'm actually imagining because Ahri is a combination of human and Fox. You as a combination of human and Scorpion.
Oh, that would
how that would look like.
Yeah, that would
I
be
feel
badass.
like you would definitely have the big stinger, but would you have the big the big claws, the big mandibles? I had to give you the big stinger, my friend. I had to.
Fun fact about scorpions. You guys are about to learn some fun scorpion facts. Scorpions that have bigger claws eat stuff smaller than them and use the claws to shovel the stuff into their mouth. If they have smaller claws, they have to kill big things with their tail and their venom. So those are the ones you want to be scared of. You see a scorpion with big claws? Cool, you can handle that scorpion. That's cool. But if it has small claws, it's probably going to hurt if it stings you. Captain Flowers is not an expert on anything in the animal kingdom and would never be featured on Animal Planet. Please do not go touch scorpions because I told you that it was safe. Otherwise, you might end up getting hurt. Please and thank you.
So I learned that I should judge a scorpion by its claws. Size does matter.
But reversely,
okay.
if they got big claws, it's like, he don't matter none. Small claws, do not touch.
The big claw scorpions, they're compensating.
yeah, exactly, because they don't have the venom.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got to eat like little bugs and stuff.
All right, well, let's see about this this Jojo LeBlanc pick into the Ahri, because this is a straight up honorable assassin versus assassin matchup, and to me this is going to be a big determining factor in this game for Evil Geniuses. Can he work with Inspire to get mid jungle priority, get mid jungle an early advantage here? if he can make so much happen. I mean, you've got Impact pushing away on top side. Tryndamere will have advantage on Gragas, and Gragas is trying to disengage up there. And you've got options to go play towards bottom side where you've got the Nautilus setup. So we shall see. Can mid jungle here for EG in this game be a prominent factor in their early win condition?
And I like how that goes back to what you were talking about with the Hecarim pick, which we normally see banned away. But if you're playing for mid jungle and you're playing for that early game, you feel a little bit better giving that Hecarim over to them, knowing that it won't be able to make those early moves.
And you know, something with as popular as Hecarim has become, and everybody just jumping on this train and going for a lot of the early farming routes, Hecarim is vulnerable to first clear invades. So you do not have to try and match the Hecarim full clear, because especially if they go with the level 3 2 points Q build, which is very common, then the Hecarim is going to have really good AoE and really good clear speed, and wants to kind of cycle the early camps for early experience. But you can get more aggressive. You can upset his timers by going for weird timing invades. And because it's a champion that never runs flash, you can get good health trades, even if you don't get a kill on them, you know, and they ghost away. You get a good health chunk on them, you scare them off the camp, and you can try and upset their clear speed and their timers that way.
Right, you don't have to care if he's farming chickens if you're farming him. It just all works together.
You farm horses. Well,
yeah, exactly. I have the superior farm animal.
And we're back to animals.
Yup, it all's a circle.
This is the Animal Planet pause that we decided to go for. But again, that also puts a magnifying glass on mid, because, you know, I like that you specifically are bringing up the Raptors. That is one of the best camps to go in and try and upset. And so that's why, you know, this blue versus jojopyun matchup can have a really big rippling effect across this game for both teams.
This is how I know that Riot made the right call, having you be the analyst and me being the talk fast guy, because I said chickens because it was a farm animal. And you're like, I'm glad you talked about that because of the proximity of mid-lane. I did it because they live on a farm. That was my entire thought process for mentioning the chickens. I don't want to live a lie. I got to come clean. I was not thinking about the mid lane there at all. But Kobe,
it was so good though. Our synergy goes deeper than conscious thought.
Unintended.
It's the subconscious connection.
Oh, it looks like.
Oh, he's right. There we go. And blue sits down. Wait, he's got a really big. Is that crumpled paper or is that rags? All right, well, either way, it's going to be great.
He has connected his butt to his seat, and now it is time to get back into the game.
The most important connection.
Exactly. If your butt's not in your seat, how are you? Well, wait, some people have those
standing desks. I was about to mention standing desk. Yeah. Pretty good for ergonomics nowadays. You know, one game sitting, then one game standing is actually the recommendation.
See, I didn't even know that standing desks were a thing until I moved out here. I just thought that was made up. And I still don't know what ergonomic means. Back when I was a kid, I thought it was just people who couldn't spell economic right.
Well, yeah. It's basically the don't hurt yourself word. How about that?
The don't hurt yourself
simplify it that way.
Okay. Let's see if... Okay, because you say that EG wants to take over the early game, right? Well, let's see if Dignitas can have an ergonomical mid-jungle duo.
No,
because they won't hurt themselves. See?
Good attempt at using your new
hooked on fun.
Good attempt at using your new vocabulary in a sentence, but we'll workshop it.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. But we got a death ball running down mid lane here from Evil Geniuses. I love seeing this with Nautiluses as they just run down mid looking for maybe a hook play that surprise move.
Everybody's doing it now. Core JJ is such a trendsetter.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, Core JJ did it. Core JJ is like the Simpsons, but for players. He's always been there first. He's always the first one making the joke, making the reference. Everybody else just trying to keep up. Dignitas defensive positioning in their own jungle here. They saw EG was up to something. They don't want to be face checking, no brushes, but they will see the red buff is warded at level 1.
Well, they successfully avoided the Nautilus train coming down mid lane, so that's a plus. And anyways, to our point where we were only kind of trolling when we were talking about all these animals during the pause. This ward, to my point of you can invade Hecarim early, is exactly the first step that you need to place if you were going to go with this strategy. So, you know, we like to weave in some valid information with
animals.
Some BS.
Yes, that's the most important part.
Okay.
You gotta have a little bit of
both. The next level of the mind games, though, they sweep out the ward as it spawns and don't have Hecarim starting on bottom side. So it is going to be pathing away from top side here for River towards the bottom half of this map. Another ward, though, also nicely timed and placed here up by Raptor Camp from Red Team. So thank you very much, observers. It just goes so EG also want to invest very early in their mid jungle, and trying to have this be a successful outcome for them is extremely important. Inspired actually going for a very early Red Raptors cross right through the minions, through vision.
Oh, he doesn't even care.
It's so, Hecarim is so vulnerable to these first clear invades. Super glad that we actually had that pause and got to set it up. And Danny's gonna force to trade summoner spells here, but the re-engage.
Yeah, they're not done yet, but they're still level 1 fighting back against level 2. So re-engage or not, you're never gonna win that. Inspired taking away the enemy chicken camp. Blue and River both moving over to try to stop it, but the chickens are gone.
The chickens, Flowers, not just farm animals. You see, really intelligent point, my friend. That's why, that's why you're the best, baby. Honestly, the trade as well on bottom side, so advantage for Dig. It was just the exhaust from Biofrost, and that early force gets double summoner spells out of the Zeri. So this might actually complicate things for the way EG wanted to play bottom side of the map, since Inspired did go for the big early cross there. River knows that Inspired has skipped his Krugs up on the top side of the map and is in blue quadrant right now. So he knows that Viego is very close to this bottom side, but since his bottom lane is pushing, his bottom lane got the summoner spell advantage, he can still go for this bottom crab, and he goes for it, grabs it before taking his own red buff because of the possibilities of the repeats from Viego.
Yeah, I like the fact that Inspired went for the play that he did, you know, cutting it off, making so River wouldn't be able to steal back the EG red buff if Inspired was able to secure the Dignitas red buff. But hey, bottom lane priority wins you some little prizes here down early on fighting for those crabs, and that means that they're doing just fine. Now, looking back over into the 2v2, Biofrost eats some damage. Danny and Vulcan level 3 now, so they're caught up in levels with Dignitas that had that early level 2 spike on them. And things are right back to even. Right back to a stalemate here in this bottom lane matchup. Meanwhile, top side, Impact getting body slammed a little bit.
Also, the stalemate does have a horsey waiting around in case there was any aggressive play from EG. This is something that junglers can all learn from, is when you're going to recall, you can take an extra second or 2 seconds to hover the lane of the side that you are recalling on, just in case there is an aggressive play, especially if it is a lane that has a Nautilus in it, and there's always possibility for you know, aggressive maneuvers. But because EG lost their summoner spells early, they didn't want to push their luck there, and there will be no action. River getting off his first recall, no problem. So should be able to correct his second clear here. No problems really encountered, since he did get the bottom scuttle crab as well. Kind of shores that one up. And it's going to stay at a fairly marginal lead for Inspired. But of course, because he full cleared the Raptor camp, you want to keep the timers of these small camps for the second respawn. He will take Raptors number 2, and if he wants to, can set up with Vulcan. I would love to see an aggressive play to set up there and wait for River to come over, but they don't go for it, and they're actually going to make the play on bottom side first.
Yep, there's definitely plays to be had here with Vulcan and Inspired coming around for the 3v2. Vulcan will lead the charge. Inspired throws down that Hallowed Mist, and Neo is your target. He tries to flash away, but he ain't going home except in a body bag. First blood over to Danny, and Biofrost, the thick skin, it protects him for only a minute, and Inspired's gonna get another one.
That goes to show Inspired playing much more for the team. Instead of get enemy jungle behind and wait for the surprise play in the brush there and get one kill on Hecarim, get your bottom lane ahead. They make the pass, and even though they pop the Scryer's Bloom, so you know, oh, they just popped the Scryers, they're up there right now, because they have this timing lead, as we can see in the replay, they're able to just force it down here on Neo and Bao. And Neo and Bao actually, even with the Scryer's Bloom popped, did not even start backing up. They really wanted to push. Obviously, since Tahm Kench was reworked, you don't have access to your safety, your ultimate that you're used to in previous iterations in lane of the ultimate, and so that's why Vulcan goes immediately flashing onto Jinx, and they're able to pick up the kill. Really, really turning around this bottom lane off of the deficit of summoners they were working off of early, so huge props to Inspired for the way he's played this early game. Yeah. Went for the chickens that we wanted, got 2 camps, 2 servings of chicken, as well as 1 serving of bottom lane.
Man, I haven't had lunch yet. That's actually making me so hungry thinking about all these chickens now.
Is it technically 2 servings of bottom lane also since they got both kills, or is it just one?
It's just a big meal.
Okay.
Yep, it's just a big meal because you got both of them. If it was 2 separate plays, yeah, then it's 2 separate.
Okay.
This is definitely just a big meal. But down here in bottom lane, it's still a pretty sizable CS lead for the Dignitas 2-man squad. They're going to be up just shy of 2 waves here. That's what they bought themselves with this bot lane control up except for, excuse me, that one gank that came through.
Smite?
Inspired, ready to steal away the blue, and he's got the smite. He gets it. Level 6 versus level 5. River can't go anywhere near him.
Yeah, Inspired with the ultimate could definitely go for any duels. His top lane is recalling though, so Impact's going back for the early extra AD, and he won't go for anything after the blue. Honestly though, Inspired is just playing this early game so well. He's definitely been the consummate example of a carnivore jungler. Taking away opponent camps and affecting opponent lanes. So it's really the best of both worlds. When you get an aggressive setup like this and you have a successful early invade, you want to turn that into a domino effect and chain it. And because you're taking away, River's camps, you're also not getting out-farmed. You are the one up in CS and having more priority on your lanes.
Yeah, he's about 3 camps up on River. River now level 6 though, so at least the Hecarim's got a little bit more ganking power here.
LeBlanc with a flash though. Like
yeah.
you would have to like 360 no-scope the charm.
All right.
See the charm.
Let's see it. River goes over the wall. Jojo,
okay.
He's stuck in a bad spot. Nicely done. Somebody get me the wub-wub montage music. There's your 360 no-scope.
I guess I mean, he just flashes the charm and River's great. Flashes down, I'm going in, and they get JoJo flowers. Well done to them. LeBlanc to me is one of the most frustrating champs in mid to gank, but River and Blue pull it off so nicely there. The AoE of Hecarim is very, very effective versus LeBlanc because most champs get really annoyed when the passive is popped, and she's invisible, splitting out the phone. But Hecarim, you just AoE down right after, so very nicely done. And let's go through the steps again. Charm used to force the flash early, and since the W is already used there, JoJo tries to sweep it out, but beautiful from River. He gets the ult fear perfectly and ease him right back into Blue, who has just barely enough mana as well, and they cleanly pull off that kill onto JoJo, onto LeBlanc. So nice stuff there from Dig to try and get back into this game because they really need it. When jungle advantage is that big, if you don't do something to get mid lane advantage back, then you lose the whole map. And that's why we highlighted mid jungle for this game being so big.
Well, Evil Geniuses still commands about a 1,500 gold lead over their opponents, despite the fact that JoJo fell. Up here in top lane, Impact doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, but Tryndamere still has plenty of sustain in the kit. Has a big farm advantage over FakeGod's Gragas, about plus 20 up here.
Every time camera goes over to Gragas right when he's burping, it's just excessive, man. Come on. You don't have to do it every time. They should be something in the coding where it's like, okay, a third of the time, he pops it out.
It's just a random. It's RNG burp.
Yeah, RNG burp.
That's the next evolution of League of Legends. RNG burps for Gragas players.
Yeah.
FakeGod gets a quick body slam into him there just to try to trade, try to still keep this lane state pretty good for himself. But 90 versus 70 in farm, Impact's chilling, just pops the heal yet again. Yeah. That resourceless heal makes it so difficult to force Tryndamere out of lane.
Yeah, and again, this is just the nullification pick there for FakeGod. You try and stack up your health with your grasp. Maybe you can make a play if mid and jungle come to roam, but other than that, focus on the CS. Dragon is picked up here for EG. Because of the bottom side push there, and Inspire is easily able to take that one away as River goes to the top side. So EG are just kind of cruising, Flower.
Yeah.
And this is a team that needs to start cruising, with the way that they started Lock-In, undefeated, all the way up to the finals. There was so much hype building behind this team. And I think rightfully so. They combine the excitement of these NA rookie players with lots of talent with some veterans of the scene and bringing over the LEC MVP in Inspired. And we're able to have such a strong start, but not the same story throughout the regular season in spring thus far. So as we head towards playoffs, this is what we're looking for them. More of this type of dominance, this early jungle pathing, this more carnivore style, really trying to eke out leads that also don't have to do just with kills, have to do with strategy and how they're opening it up. Now Vulcan, though, level 6 flowers. Let's see what he can do in linking up with Inspired.
All right, can Vulcan lead the way? Inspired right behind him as Vulcan steps forward to clear out these wards. They don't want to give away that they got extra man in the area. Vulcan, he'll clear out that control ward now. They have seen Inspired, so Blue is aware that he's hanging out nearby. It's just going to be a Herald dropped immediately. They're not trying to get maximum value out of this, destroy the whole turret, get down to the last 2 plates. They just want to get the guaranteed usage, so that'll get summoned up here. Unfortunately, Shelly gets a little bit distracted, so they lose about half HP before she gets the charge. Still 2 full plates, and that will be it. Jojo jumping underneath the turret there to grab a bit of extra damage onto Blue, and with that control over mid, now Evil Geniuses is bringing the party bot side.
Yeah,
wow. Oh
Impact has his own party.
We got multiple parties breaking out now, but it doesn't look like River's having any fun, and none of them. He's going to be taken very low, but Biofrost is able to keep him alive. Now he's got to be careful as Jojo's ready to collapse, but EG don't find a single kill. Beautifully done from Biofrost. Nice save.
Yeah, that was close there. Vulcan making Nautilus look pretty slim there as he dodges back with the fancy footwork as well. And EG avoid a pretty disastrous possibility of a turnaround there. And we do see the power of the Tahm Kench ultimate. Big save from Biofrost there onto River. Pops him back out with the big shield, and they can try and have the return damage. Meanwhile, back at party number 1, topside party, Impact taking away the blue buff after pushing in the Gragas, really trying to get the most in payment out of this counter pick.
Oh yeah, item completed, Frozen Heart there for FakeGod's Gragas. Going to be slowing down that Tryndamere a little bit, very effective against Viego and Zeri as well to try to just stop that attack speed a little bit. So that'll be very useful for everybody here on the team. Also has that tier at 250 at a 360, so about 2/3 of the way towards having that fully stacked, so he'll be able to create his Fimbulwinter with it. Yeah. Vulcan just trying to establish some vision down here in the bottom side. It is 2 minutes until the next Drake of the game. Remember, this is a very slow Drake pacing overall. We're almost 14 minutes in, and there's only that first one taken. Meanwhile, Danny just continues pushing up, farming up, and this is another important distinction between the AD carries. It's that single item power spike, that Trinity Force for the Zeri up against a hyper carry Jinx that really wants to hit 3 items.
Yeah, we'll see what Danny can do with it. I like your focus too on the Frozen Heart, because this has long been one of the strongest tank items in the game. It is rarely bought because it has mana on it, and people don't like spending money on mana, especially because most tanks are, you know, junglers or top laners that aren't going to get the biggest of value. But Gragas is the perfect person to hold a Frozen Heart because you go the Fimbulwinter build now too, and you get value out of also the mana. Plus, even considering that, you know, the attack speed aura is incredible into teams like this that are all attack speed based, because the AP threat on the opponent team is the LeBlanc. That LeBlanc is not doing damage into a Gragas.
No, she's not trying to burst the big.
Not if the LeBlanc knows what she's doing. She's trying to assassinate your backline. So you are all dealing with auto attack, straight AD damage, basically, as FakeGod. So it's just like dream scenario for this item. And even though he is getting blasted up here, to say at least, by Impact, it's a very efficient item. So even though you have less gold, you're getting more value out of the gold that you're using. And hopefully he'll be a big impact for the team fights, and we'll be able to make use of his engaged properties.
I mean, that 20 CS advantage that Impact had earned himself that we mentioned a couple of minutes ago hasn't really grown any further. FakeGod's doing a good job stabilizing that a little bit. Impact still continuing to put damage into this tier 1 turret, though with the plates fully gone, it's only a matter of time before Impact's able to take this one out. FakeGod can just not clear the minions away swiftly enough. But the second Drake of the game is live. EG still has a 2,000 gold lead. Dignitas has River hanging out down here around bottom, seeing if maybe there's a play to be made. But once they see that Hallowed Mist wrap around, that means that Inspired is here too, and Dignitas must be careful.
And you can tell always by the minimap, because you have Tryndamere running down early, because Tryndamere always runs Flash Ghost for the extra mobility for later on. So if he starts coming down, then EG will contest. If he heads right back up to top lane, then they're going to give it up. So just watching his movement, EG have made the call, hey, we are going to give this up. Impact, go ahead and push. Maybe you can finish off that tower with a Demolish proc, and they want to get some money that way. Basically, as a Tryndamere, you kind of ignore the Gragas, you get your leads elsewhere. You saw him going for the invade. He gets the blue buff. He got deep wards down in the Hecarim jungle. He gets demolish procs off on the turret, gets as much CS as he can. And EG making a good call, in my opinion here, not to rotate him down and just to take top side instead. You get the tower bonus gold for yourself, for your Tryndamere. This is first turret bonus, as well as the entire thing solo taken by Impact. So makes Tryndamere a very rich boy and very capable of split pushing. Plus, Inspired, while he's doing that, is able to pick up the Rift Herald.
Yep, I like how long Evil Geniuses postured around the dragon, making Dignitas guess whether or not they were going to try to contest and fight them for it. Like how you said, Tryndamere acted like maybe he was going to run down for a minute.
And went into the fog of war.
Yeah, it was one of those things to buy a little bit more time, guarantee that they would be able to trade Rift Herald for Drake instead. That was not the ulti that FakeGod wanted it to be, and now Impact is going for the dive. He's already got the Ghost on, he's grabbing the crits, FakeGod trying to outplay him and kite him. Impact will die to the turret 1-for-1 in the top lane.
Both flashes used there in that as well. You can tell Impact was like, you are not getting away with that ultimate. You throw an ult into the dirt against me, you are gonna die.
An insult, a personal insult. You gotta punish that. Impact will take the kill, but FakeGod gets one back. Let's take another look at it.
All right, here's the replay. We're gonna go with prompt kill. Gets the heal off it. Blast cone over the top. Oh no, Tryndamere's coming for my face, but I've got Frozen Heart, so I don't take too much damage. There is the ultimate that he whiffs because of his own body slam back there on Impact, and then that was a pretty nice move where he got his grasp proc off before the flash, and then trying to work around the tower, forces Impact to not only ult and die for it too, but also use his own flash to get into range. And you can see the effect of the early armor stacking as well as the attack speed reduction really did mean that Impact not able to get the kill and get out is at least a trade.
All right, Danny
1v2
ulti there, putting some bullets into Biofrost as they try to disengage. Dignitas's bottom lane actually getting the worst end of that as Danny piles some more autos at the very back part of the trade. One thing I do want to mention about the Gragas versus Tryndamere thing in the top side is it looked like FakeGod put the ulti down to try to predict that Impact would spin there, but it didn't happen. And now we got River looking to make a play down here. Danny's going to be caught out first. Danny's already down. Kill credit over to Jinx. You can't ask for anything more from Dignitas. That was perfect how they did it. And now River's going to run after Vulcan and see if he can find any more. The problem is Jojo and Impact are ready and waiting. Dignitas wants to continue the fight as Vulcan has to disengage. But now, can Impact continue to chase or find a kill? No. Once more, it's Biofrost keeping River safe.
Okay, meanwhile, look at the mini-map because Jinx got alone time pushing in on the bottom tower here, so Neo gets a bunch of minions pushed up as well, and he's actually going to stick around since Bio's coming for, he doesn't have ults, so it's not as much safety as you would think, and they're going to try and punish here. Jojo teleports in, no ult on TK.
Oh, Neo, you got to try to get out of there, buddy, and he will escape for now. Counterattack goes through. Biofrost not going to find the knock-up as jojopyun was able to hold his ground. But now the stasis goes out for the Dignitas support. Jojo trying to jump back in there and grab a little bit more damage. Barely gets himself back away. Inspired gets the first kill, and he's going in for the resets. Shoots off a zap, but it hits a minion, and we will not get any more. Dignitas back out, but they lose their AD carry.
That was a really good flash play from Inspired. He can tell that Neo is looking at the LeBlanc, trying to kill Jojo with his auto attacks there, tries to force out the LeBlanc, and so he instantly punishes. If you get that close, flashes in, Inspired gets the kill onto Jinx. Pretty good retake there. As well, Jojo kind of pushing it to the limits. Had pretty good clone micro as he moves up, forcing the extra threat onto Tahm Kench and allowing EG to get another one. I mean, this is over 4,000 gold lead for themselves, and it started from minute 3 with the Raptor steal away, the crossover there from Inspired, really good control from him all game long. There have been some games where where he has made mistakes, where he's been lacking, but this one here is really looking like a very, very clean one from him and all of EG.
And we're seeing so much of what you were talking about with stealing away those camps, making sure you're staying on top of the timers. River is not farming well. You said this is not the guy that you have him be your jungler, hoping he's going to power farm and hard carry that way. He likes to get involved. He likes to make early moves, and he's down 35 CS versus Inspired's Viego right now.
Yeah, and it's consequences of, yes, Inspired playing early well, but also Impact. Remember, in this Gragas matchup, the Tryndamere gets to go wherever he wants. So Impact taking away the Gromp and Blue off of this top side also hits River's farm. And so this is one of the reasons why in Champ Select, we were talking about EG feeling confident giving over the Hecarim, even with all the priority teams have put on it recently. But here's Blue after he takes the tower.
Oh, but can he get away? Jojo jumps in, says, nah, there's no reason to allow that. Inspired's the one to pick up the kill. Yoink! Steals that one away. Thank you very much. 3-0-1
Kill
Viego.
secure!
And he's got Guardian Angel as his second item. He wants to continue to dive into the fight with utter impunity. No fear whatsoever. He's ready to get the resets and that kill on the mid laner and the bottom side. That's Drake over to EG. Nice attempt from Neo.
Yeah. Inspired may have pentakills in his eyes.
Ooh.
Honestly, so whenever you see that too, when a solo laner is about to finish off a solo kill, I always do advocate for getting an assist for your team.
True.
Because an assisted kill is worth 50% more gold for the team overall. Yes, now the majority does go into Inspired instead of into JoJo, but it's still a team
Don't
play.
worry, bro. I use the exact same excuse when I KS.
I'm pretty sure everybody does.
Yeah.
Every time anyone KSs, they're like, just
KS is for the team. It's for the team. What are you talking about? Gotta support the
Then
team.
they're like, sir, you're Soraka.
Gotta support the team.
You can just heal me for an assist.
I love doing it still. It's fantastic. But you got Impact pushing down in bottom lane. Now the CS difference is even more extreme. 60 farm over his opponent. FakeGod continuing to try to deal with this. He'll clear out that wave. Kobe, what's the plan here for Dignitas? Because that gold lead that you said was 4K, it's now 5K. Things keep slipping away and they aren't slowing down.
Well, they're gonna need to have one of those flash plays that you pick the Gragas for. The time of nullifying and the time of just getting pushed in and slowly losing should be over.
Okay.
Gragas mid-game, try to make some team plays maybe. Maybe you can force something onto Danny. It's going to be really rough, though, because his Ghost Flash is about to be available again. You know, Flash coming off a cooldown here, so he's going to have a lot of mobility, and you're going to have to insta him, which just puts more emphasis on this Dig play where they've got to pull out a crazy good Flash engage from FakeGod, followed up by the Hecarim Ahri, or else it is going to continue to snowball in Evil Genius's favor. There is no panic in any member of EG right now.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty. And of course, Zeri's one of those AD carries that's even harder than most others to be able to burst down like that. She likes to build health. She's very fast as well. You can also see the overheal shield on Danny. So he's got 2 HP items plus that shield. This is not an easy to kill target. That's 2,500 health you've got to work through. Yeah. And as long as they're grouped up like this, as long as they're playing as 5, I gotta give the edge to EG in being able to protect him like that. River's gonna step forward. He'll lead Dignitas into this top side, see if maybe they can find anything. Just throw down a little bit of vision of their own. Jojo goes over the wall there, goes right back to his origin point. That is a very small amount of mist from Inspired, but he's still able to hide inside of it. Little puddle of mist or not.
I'm just not as scared as usual. When it's just this little
puddle.
I'm pretty sure I know where he is.
He's probably in the puddle. It looks so spooky, like it's menacing when it crawls around the wall. You're like, oh no, Viego's coming, dude, run. But then when it's just a puddle, it's like, don't step in that.
It's like when one of those little mom and pop haunted houses open up during Halloween. That's just by the side of the road, and it's like one room with everything
like
stuck
a plastic
into it.
Spider or something.
No, come on! I swear, it's really scary. It's really scary. I promise. I promise.
It's like the one gag the whole time is you just open the door and like a skeleton pops out. Goes,
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
There's a lot of scary stuff on this map right now for Dignitas as Evil Geniuses controls everything. Look at the way the vision looks. It is so dark on the map for the side of Dig. They are trying to sit down vision. They're trying to move these vision lines forward, but Evil Geniuses is not only sweeping all theirs away, they're setting up vision of their own and making it risky for Dig to try to step forward and stop it, because as soon as you try, Evil Geniuses is ready to go on the attack. Neo's going to be killed at the very start, and this one's already over. Evil Geniuses will slam the rest of the fight with no AD carry on Dignitas. More damage popping off as Inspired looks to get more resets. Will not find those, but top laner and AD carry down. All 5 men still alive. EG's going to Baron.
Did you see the panic there in Neo's eyes? He was like, please, where do I go? Where is safe? Ends up going into the rest of the EG members that are flanking from the other side. Oh my goodness. We knew it was pretty much inevitable here, Flowers, but that's what destruction looks like, and that is gonna for sure be EG, Baron, EG, mid-second turret as well, and EG can reset for Dragon number 3.
EG is just slamming this game. Let's watch it again as Dignitas just wanted to clear a ward, but not here. Not this ward.
Yeah, Neo knows, or River knows, I'm not going to auto-attack that. They're going to jump over. Then Vulcan flashes over, gets the hook onto Neo. Then he flashes over into Inspired Sword and the flanking LeBlanc because there is nowhere safe for him to go. Honestly, EG were just waiting for that. Yeah, they're all smiles.
Yeah,
because
I love the grin.
They're kind of playing with their food, you know, and Inspired starts it out with the stun. Vulcan flashes over the wall. Danny just jumps forward on the Zeri instant ult, blasting him from the other side. It is brutal.
And with the control they have right now, evil geniuses know that Dignitas would not dare try to come challenge for this dragon, so Inspired's gonna pick that one up for free. Meanwhile, waves are getting pushed, mid and bot. It's Impact on split duty, everybody else hanging out mid. 2 minutes of Baron to go. I'm expecting this one to deal a lot of damage.
I'm pretty sure, as we were talking before that play happened, it was a 5K gold lead. And it is instantly now a 9.3K gold lead, and the tower is going to continue to fall as EG push in with this Baron buff. Easy 4-1 for them. You can see LeBlanc already pushing up the mid lane as well, and now rotating one move up. So EG that just took the bottom turret, rotate towards mid. LeBlanc that just pushed up mid, rotate towards top, and you continue your 2 lanes of pressure.
Exactly, and they want to make sure they're pressuring that top side because that's now the only remaining lane with a tier 2 turret in it. When you have this much of a lead, that's just going to be free gold. There's no way Dignitas want to try to stand and protect that one. Vulcan goes for a dredge line, but will not hit any of the members of Dignitas. So instead, they'll just say, all right, no big deal. They're going fishing. If they hit something, great. If not, no problem. March it up to top. That tier 2 turret is gone. And now they've got to hit the base itself. It is a 3-pronged assault. They've got a 3-man squad up top. They've got Inspired in mid. They've got Impact at bot. FakeGod is still trying to deal with him, and it's going about as well as you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, it's Hullbreaker for Impact. He's also got Demolish. Honestly, he's not even worried seeing the Hecarim charge right at him. Yeah. Great, it's another tank. Oh.
Ooh, scary
skeleton.
Ooh, spooky, scary skeleton. But that's about it. Yeah, he just walks back, says, all right, dude, I'll take 100 damage and heal it off for the next wave. No big deal. Danny keeps shoving up the mid lane wave as JoJo's going to crash another one into the tier 3 turret in top side. Evil Genius is deciding to back off now. They've got 20 seconds left on the Baron. They will not be able to accomplish anything else with that one, but they kept Dignitas stuck in their base the whole time. The gold lead is 11,000, and that Baron ended up getting them about plus 4K, like you were saying.
So these are the types of games where I lobby for the LCS having challenge mechanics or like, yes, and hear me out. Okay. So a challenge mechanic will be one of the players from the winning team can put up, you know, a wager basically, a certain amount of their advantage, just to make it more interesting and challenge, you know, 1, 2, 3 players to come to a duel so that we can have some incitement injected into us, because right now they're gonna, you know, kind of snowball.
You want 1v1 at Baron Pit?
Yes, and for stakes, for wagering extra stakes. I haven't figured out what the winning team gets for it because they're kind of wagering extra big comeback mechanics. There's got to be like something outside,
give them the inting sled from Nexus Splits, the prize that makes you lose. So that's even better.
You can't actually have them gaining something in game because they already, you know, have such a big advantage. So it would probably be something out of game that the opponent team would like have to pay later or something. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. I say just give them that sled because they say it's a prize, but every time I've ever played it, everybody just dies. It's an int wagon. As JoJo goes over.
Oh my God. So you want a bunch of poisoned apples all over the rift to pop up. Yep. Like, hey, you want to jump in the sled?
I want poison apples. I want poison apple seeds. I want to grow a poison apple orchard. We'll keep it interesting. But Things are currently very interesting, and I do not mean that in a good way for the side of Dignitas, as their base is just getting destroyed, man. Impact's already cracked things open up there in the top lane. The bottom lane tier 3 turret is nearly dead from his work earlier. Look at that thing. It's only got 25%. Mid lane tier 3 turret's only at half. Jojo keeps doing these double hops over the wall and makes everybody have to just flinch real fast. Impact's now on to the Nexus turrets themselves. FakeGod's trying to defend, but he can't do anything against the Tryndamere. The nullification has failed, and EG keeps the pressure on. Impact looking for another demolish as River looks for an engage. They know they're just bleeding out, and they got to make some sort of a move sometime, but that move didn't work.
True. A very succinct way to put it.
Didn't work.
I agree. Very factual there. We saw one member of Dig was like, you know what? Screw this. Let's go to Valhalla. Let's lead our way right into death. And everyone else was like, I'm good.
Be like,
we're going to try it.
Did he just go in?
Well, yeah, we'll just clear out these minions. But they did successfully get maybe 30% of Impact's HP bar, which is something.
It's a better prize than an imping sled.
Yeah.
See?
True.
We're already there. They're on top of it. They're on top of it.
Flush of death. Flush of death.
No. Well, Jojo is on top of it too.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. Jojo camping the brush as LeBlanc should do. EG just doing everything according to the book. Another Baron is about to pop up, so just pick up your
soul.
Yeah, pick up your soul. Yeah, whatever. You know, those like for the EG. It's like, oh. Every day, bro.
Yeah, this is no worry for them. All right, pick up that Infernal Soul. Come on, EG, stop toying around with him. You got a 12,000 gold lead. You got an Infernal Soul on Viego and LeBlanc. This one should be
They're not going for the Baron. All right, they're going to push inside, make it a little exciting for us.
All right, Neo's trying to get away as the Nautilus ulti tracks him down and blows him up. No way out. Dignitas have lost their AD carry first yet again, as Evil Geniuses are now completing their victory march. The Nexus turrets will be the target. FakeGod steps forward. Danny has to disengage and get himself back, but now he's ready to continue the assault. Impact spins on over to rejoin the rest of the team, and the first Nexus turret is down. Jojo's gonna jump in, finds about half of Blue's health bar, and then gets himself back away. Impact's in the middle with the Endless Rage locked and loaded and ready to go. Vulcan walks into the fountain, doesn't matter a whole lot. The Nexus goes down, and EG get their win.
They certainly do, and they savored that one for a while here. What a stomp. Really, really liked the opening game plan from EG. Inspired played it really well, aggressively punishing this Hecarim pick, invade after invade. Impact on the top side, taking care of business in the Tryndamere versus Gragas matchup. Also able to control the objectives for themselves. Dragons from the very early stages here. Well done by the Evil Geniuses squad. They really wanted to clean up this mid-stage as we head towards playoffs and start to slam teams so they can be more aggressive and they could be more fearful towards all the other teams in the LCS as we head to playoffs. And this is definitely going to be step number one in that evil plan.
I mean, they controlled the game from start to finish. I mean, you even said it's like, hey, from 3 minutes into the game, they were just on top of it. There were a couple of bright spots for Dignitas, which were both Tahm Kench saves on the jungler as River was in a bad spot. Like, good job for Biofrost being able to get him out of trouble there. But when the highlight of the game is, well, this dude didn't die this one time, you know that the game didn't go your way.
True. You can't win by just not dying.
Yes. Not being dead is not a win condition in and of itself. That's true. That's the lesson that we learned here today, my friend.
Honestly, though, yeah, really happy to see, you know, Inspired especially popping off there for EG. It's incredibly excited to see the trajectory as they continue towards playoffs, too, because this is a very important win. If we remember the standings here for Dig, right neck and neck with them. Now they're moved up to tied.
Well, with that win, Evil Genius are going to even out their scoreline, 7-7, and we're going to join LeTigress and Inspired for our Verizon post-game interview.
Thank you, Captain Flowers. I've got a jungler by my side. His name is Inspired. He plays for EG, and joining me after quite a stomp during that game. Can you tell me about your experience there, being player of the game at that on your Viego play?
In the game, it was pretty slow and pretty easy. I felt like enemy team didn't really do anything. I think they couldn't maybe do stuff with their draft, and I don't know. they drafted very weak early game. I punished it, and then they couldn't really come back to the game.
Yeah, really setting a tone early on in that game and carrying it through all the way. We talked way back during lock-in, and you spoke about some of your experience working with these squads, trying to bring some knowledge to some of the younger guns on the team. Can you tell me about the progress that you are all making to achieve some consistency as EG?
I mean, the progress, I think we just get experience on stage. I think at the beginning, especially when we started playing first weeks on stage, we were playing way worse than we did in scrims. But now it's getting better and better because I think people just get more comfortable here. But that's basically the experience we get so far. So, I mean, we are getting slowly better and better, and hopefully we'll be even stronger in playoffs.
Yeah, seeing you fire it up really when it counts, because playoffs aren't that far off, and because of where you are in the standings, every game does pretty much matter. How are you approaching each of these games with 100 Thieves being your next targets?
I mean, I approach it as same as every game before. I just try to win. But in best of ones, it's always a bit random stuff. Maybe you like lose the draft or don't prepare well enough, and then you surprise you with something, and then the game is kind of hard to play out. But I think with the weeks that are coming, we are like more prepared now. We are like more clear on the draft what we want to play. So I think the game against 100 Thieves should be in our favor. I think we are a stronger team. And this week, even we practice against like very strong teams such as Cloud9, TL, and TSM. And we are like winning a lot of the games. So I think I feel very comfortable, or like very confident as well.
Strong in practice, strong on the stage. Thank you so much for stopping by in the interview.
Thank you.
A victory here for Evil Geniuses. We will see how they fare against 100 Thieves tomorrow, but for now, we're kicking it to a break. On the other side, the State Farm Analyst Desk will break it all down.
After seeing 11-2 versus 2-11 be what it was, I think 6-7 versus 7-6 might be a banger as well. Vulcan will lead the charge. Inspired throws down that Hallowed Mist, and Neo is your target. He tries to flash away, but he ain't going home except in a body bag.
Yeah, control mid. We are looking at it. Jojo is giga smurfing. I'm coming.
Hecarim wants to join. Zoning Hecarim.
Thank you, Jojo.
Evil Geniuses is ready to go on the attack. Neo's going to be killed at the very start, and this one's already over. Evil Geniuses will slam the rest of the fight with no AD carry on Dignitas. More damage popping off as Inspired looks to get more resets.
Initializing legendary moments.
Take a look while you can, because if you blink, you'll miss it.
I'm sure you've heard the news.
Gold, gold, and more gold.
Here comes the big play. Oh, that's perfect timing. You can see this one coming.
They get what they need. They got the mids. They got the support. They got the top.
Are they going to give you some fun League of Legends? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome to the LCS.
FTX, official cryptocurrency exchange partner of the LCS.
Sequence complete.
What is going on?
I can't afford streaming anymore, so.
Sure you can. State Farm has rates that fit your budget.
Oh, good. Because some true crime would be nice.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.